Is Yoshi's Woolly World finally coming to Nintendo Switch? Let's get into it. One of the greatest Nintendo Wii U games was Yoshi's Woolly World. Genuinely, I mean that. It was a great time. I really enjoyed Yoshi's Woolly World when it launched back in 2015 on the Wii U. Yeah, it's really fun. I would say it's probably the second best Yoshi game to Yoshi's Island. I would still say that's a better game, but overall, Yoshi's Woolly World is a very good game. And it needs to come to Nintendo Switch. Like, it's stuck on the Wii U, pretty much. It's on the 3DS. Obviously, the graphics are pretty much very downgraded to be on the 3DS, but a, enhanced version with more levels with Poochie, I believe, is on the 3DS. But the main game that looks absolutely beautiful is stuck on the Wii U. Well, it might not actually be stuck for that much longer. I actually made a video about a year or so ago talking about a potential Switch port for Yoshi's Woolly World. Well, why are we talking about this? We're talking about this because it's very strange what's going on with this game. So Nintendo keeps trying to kind of tease this game without actually telling us. If you don't know, there was a Direct last year in April. It was the huge Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and in that Direct, Nintendo showed off a trailer, and the trailer was like, here's all the games that are playable on the Switch 2 that were originally on the Switch 1, but with enhanced versions. And in that trailer, there was actually an icon for Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World. Now, some Nintendo fans thought maybe that was a mistake, maybe they was meaning to talk about Yoshi's Crafted World, but accidentally put the wrong icon in. Not much is known about why this icon was there, but it was there, and it's very strange to see why Nintendo did this. And apart from that, that's pretty much all we heard about this game. Everything kind of went quiet. Then, in the next Nintendo Direct, we saw the reveal of Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, which makes me think, why would Nintendo reveal Yoshi in the Mysterious Book if they've got Yoshi's Woolly World being ported to the Switch as well? It wouldn't make much sense to have two Yoshi games on the shelf at one time. And apart from that, after that point, I kind of forgot about Yoshi's Woolly World even potentially coming to the Switch. Maybe they wanted to port it, but they ended up scrapping the game and deciding to make a brand new Yoshi game instead. Everything kind of went quiet, up until recently. Now, before I go into the next part of this video, I do want to shout out Aiden548. They're a YouTuber. They made a video on this, so I want to give them credit. Go and check out their channel. I will say there is a little bit of a language warning. I try to keep my content family friendly. They have no idea that I'm shouting them out, but I did see their video and I wanted to talk about it myself. But yeah, they made a video and they actually started talking about a tweet within that video, and they started talking about a tweet from Shibu. I believe that's how you say that. Shibu24. I believe that's how you say your name, sorry if I'm saying it wrong. They said, in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Shigeru Miyamoto showed us Yoshi's evolution throughout the games. I compared Woolly World on the Wii U with the one presented in the Nintendo Direct, and I noticed the quality of the game isn't the same. Is it a port of the game? So what basically happened in that Mario Galaxy Direct was Shigeru Miyamoto was talking about Yoshi, and they had a trailer where it showed off all of the different games Yoshi's been in, and one of those games that was shown within that trailer was Yoshi's Woolly World. Now, the footage from there, people are speculating that the footage shown in that Direct was actually from a higher resolution Switch or Switch 2 port and not the original Wii U game. If we look at both of the screenshots close together, I do believe that the textures on that, the one shown in the Direct, is definitely a lot higher. You can see lots more detail in the stitches and in the knitting of that, especially on that wall. So I believe, yeah, this is probably a screenshot from a port of the game, and Nintendo was maybe hoping that we wouldn't realise. So this is now twice Nintendo has teased Yoshi's Woolly World for Switch. They teased it with that icon in that trailer that one time, and now have they potentially even shown footage of the game? It's very strange. I would say, if we didn't have the new Yoshi game, Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, I would say this port is more or less confirmed and they're just waiting for a time to release it. The issue that I have with this is that they're releasing a brand new Yoshi game. Now, I don't know what that means. Yoshi seems to be in the Mario Galaxy movie quite a lot. Does that mean Nintendo wants to do 2 Yoshi games in 1 year? I just can't see them doing that. So maybe Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World for the Switch 2, or the Switch 1, is planned, it's ready to go, they're just waiting for a year to release it. So, for example, we could get the brand new Yoshi game in spring of this year. That could still happen, and then maybe next year or the year after, as one of the final Switch 1 games, they may actually release Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World. Now, I don't know, there is something going on with this game. I believe it definitely exists. I believe Nintendo is just waiting on games. Nintendo is a company that likes to make games, then announce them, and then release them pretty quickly. So they have to sort of sit on games and wait for them to be ready for release. And I believe this game is ready to go. They're ready to release this game at some point, just not now. And I don't know, I feel like with that new Yoshi game coming out pretty soon, I don't feel like Nintendo is ready to necessarily release Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World onto Switch and Switch 2. Like, for example, if you are a Switch 1 owner, you don't own a Nintendo Switch 2, and you see that Nintendo is releasing 2 Yoshi games within a year, and they've released Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World for Switch 1 and Switch 2, as well as Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. You might not be that excited for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and it might not convince you to get a Switch 2. Like, what Nintendo fans might think here, they might just think, why? Why should I buy a Switch 2 when there's a brand new Yoshi game coming out for the Switch 1? And a lot of Nintendo fans might just be happy with keeping with the Switch 1, to be honest. So it's a very interesting take to have here from Nintendo. I don't know really what the plan with Yoshi's Woolly World is. I mean, it might not even exist. This could just be just some footage that they've maybe edited to look a little bit better, but I truly believe this game exists. And another option with that could be that Nintendo could be doing like a release at the same time, kind of like what happens with Pokemon. Pokemon releases 2 games at once. Maybe we'll get Yoshi's Woolly World for the Switch 1, and then Yoshi and the Mysterious Book on the Switch 2 on the same day. That is also a possibility. That could be announced in the next Nintendo Direct. I don't know, it's fun to speculate. This game is not announced yet, but there is some kind of teasers by Nintendo. We could actually be seeing this game at some point. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. It is a little bit of a mystery. Does this game exist or not? There is arguments on either side. I believe this game exists. Nintendo is just waiting for the right time to release it. And if I had to make a prediction, I would say we'd probably see this game for the Nintendo Switch 1 in like 2027, maybe even early 2028. For the Switch 1 as one of the final Switch 1 games. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so because it does really help us out. And with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.